morning. Thank you so much for staying tuned to Citizen TV on this 17th day of May 2022. My name is Sam Gituku. Welcome back on Daybreak. And I want to introduce the panelists that we have here in studio. And of course, outside here, outside from studio, we have Professor Kivuda Kibwana. He is the governor of Makueni. Good morning, Prof.
Good morning, Sam.
Great. And we have Veronica Maina, the Secretary General of UDA. Good morning.
Good morning, Sam.
Good to see you. And also we have Bobby Mkangi, who is a constitutional lawyer, joining us via Zoom. Good morning.
Morning to you.
Great. And you're hoping that you'll also be joined by Fred Okango, who is the Secretary of Political Affairs within KANU and also has been very instrumental in the workings of One Kenya Alliance. And of course, the top story of this morning, you'll see from the Daily Nation and the Standard, is Strength of a Woman, talking about the Iron Lady, quote unquote. This is Martha Karua, former Member of Parliament for Gishugu, now named to be Raila Odinga's running mate. It is also the big story on the Standard that you'll see rise of the Iron Lady. Azimio la Umoja flag bearer Raila Odinga unveils Martha Karua as his running mate at KICC in Nairobi yesterday. And of course, they are saying that Azimio presidential candidate Raila Odinga picks Martha Karua as his running mate, cementing the ticket's reformist credentials, experience in running government, and quest for gender balance. But the hard part begins now. And of course, it is 84 days to the general election and so much going on. Of course, the official campaigns have yet to start. They should begin as soon as 29th of May at the start of the clearance of the presidential candidates. But also something happened yesterday. We saw that Kalonzo Musyoka is saying on the Daily Nation, me too, Kalonzo's last-minute entry to presidential race. He says that they'll be comparing notes with Azimio la Umoja. For them, they remain as One Kenya Alliance. We'll see how that will be done with the panelists that are here. And also Bobby Mkangi joining us via way of Zoom. But let me begin by taking reactions and begin with you, Veronica Maina. Of course, you had a big day. Your big day was on Sunday when you named, or rather, the Deputy President named Rigathi Gachagua to be his running mate. Yesterday, it was the turn of Azimio la Umoja picking Martha Karua to be the running mate. How have you received this news, especially on the picking of Martha Karua?
I think it's a good sign for the nation of Kenya and for the women of Kenya. It's a positive sign to show that women can ascend to whatever level that they aspire to ascend. It's not a bad sign. It's a good sign. And how I look at it is that the reason why there is so much hula-baloo about it is because maybe women for a long time may not have been treated equally with men. I would not have expected too much hula-baloo if everybody was doing what they were supposed to be doing in terms of gender equality, gender equity. It should be natural for women to vie for governor position, women to vie for presidential tickets, to be deputy presidents. I think there is more hula-baloo than what should actually be and what is actually there in practice. Yes.
And of course, your party leader, that is William Ruto, had an opportunity to pick a woman running mate, but did not. Of course, he said that there were two candidates that were being considered, Alice Ohome and Anne Waiguru. How important was gender in that consideration, if you know?
Gender was treated equally in our consideration, in the Deputy President's consideration of his running mate. And that is why they ranked very high, in the sense that they could have been picked. They ranked high, but it was also a merited approach, you know, and people understood, the women and the men alike understood that fortunately or unfortunately, it's only one position available and it cannot be shared with 2 people or 3 people. It wasn't a team position. So finally, it had to land on one person, but they are equal mates and we treat men and women the same, equally, yes, within the party.
Right. And Prof, you've had quite a working relationship with Martha Karua for many years, and I was looking at some videos of some visit you had not so long ago with other leaders, including Mukisa Kitui, in your county, as you were unveiling some project there. How does this decision come to you? How are you taking it yourself at this point in time?
Like most Kenyans, I'm very excited at this decision. And it's not so much because mother is a woman, is a lady, but because she is very capable. She has all it takes to assume the second highest office in the land. And even sitting here with Veronica, I am really very happy because both Veronica and Mother were my students at law school.
True, true.
So.
And I'm kind of feeling like a grandfather teacher. And I don't really think it's like Halabalu. It's really merited appointment. And what you can't take away from Mother is her reform credentials, work ethic, forthrightness, and therefore she will stand, with everybody, not only in Kenya but also in the continent. And I think this is a good trend to tell girls you can be anything in Kenya. So she's going to be a major role model in our country and beyond.
At least that's one line so far that we agreed, yeah?
Yes, yes, yes. And let me also say, Sam, I'm very
just
honored.
Before you do, let's cross and listen to Bobby Mkangi. Bobby, you were part of that team that was drafting the Constitution of Kenya 2010, and it's quite heavy on achieving gender parity. Of course, says that at least a third of the gender must be represented in elective and appointive positions. What does this signal, the picking of Martha Karua by one of the major presidential candidates in this election?
Well, I think it is, as has been touted, rather historical, but historical in the sense that, as you've put it, Honorable Martha Karua has been nominated as a running mate in one of the front-running formations. We must remember that she's not the first one to be nominated as such. I think Professor Wajakayo has a running mate who is a lady, and I think there are a couple of ladies who are also running as a presidential candidate. So we must also recall that this has already happened. We go back even to pre-2010 Constitution. I think in 2007, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka did have Professor Ojiambo as his running mate. So I think, yes, within the context of implementing the Constitution of Kenya 2010, and as you said, laden with the principle of inclusivity, equality, non-discrimination, and a very particular and categorical pronouncement on ensuring that there is gender parity when it comes to exercising political rights. So in the sense that Azimio is one of the major front-running formations, in the sense that its presidential candidate, Honorable Raila Odinga, when you look at the stature that is Honorable Martha Karua, I think that is why this is sending, a very strong message in the sense that this is a ticket that is highly likely to win, and if it does win, then Martha Karua will be the principal assistant to the president as the Constitution of Kenya 2010 goes. Because, again, we must also remember that Martha Karua has previously run as a presidential candidate in the 2013 elections. So I think in this sense, I think the previous speaker did allude to the gesture, the perception that always we do have when we have our lady folk taking up some of these seemingly or properly so top leadership positions, and especially in the political world. I think any gesture does grow into forming the convention, and also in a way unlearning the minds of Kenyans, if I may use that term, in the challenge and struggle of seeing more of our lady folk within the political space. So I think in this regard, it is something to be talked about, but let's not also forget the other tickets that have already tapped ladies as running mates, but also the other parties, as fringe as they may be,
right.
and candidates, independent and otherwise, who are also ladies. So it is a win for the Constitution at the end of the day. Thank you.
Right. Thank you for that, Bobby. And Fred Okango now joins us via way of phone. We had hoped that you'd be here in studio, but says he has other engagements. But Fred, before we let you go, good morning first, but also secondly, of course, Raila Odinga has chosen Martha Karua. I remember that One Kenya Alliance side of the Azimio movement was very keen on having Kalonzo Musyoka chosen. He wasn't. Your party leader, that is Gideon Moi, was at an event with Kalonzo Musyoka as he was unveiling his running mate. What does this mean, and where is KANU within the Azimio movement?
As you said, respectfully, there are serious meetings that are going on right now. But I can tell you that, first of all, on an individual level, I congratulate Martha Karua for having been nominated to run as the deputy president or, as the running mate Raila Odinga. And that is very good for this country. And we all agree with the other panelists. We agree that it's a good show. It's a good mark for the women of this country, the motivator. And we do hope to see more of women getting in politics, not only to run as the running mate, but also in future to become president of this great Republic of Kenya. Number two, as a party, KANU, I am here to tell you that we are in Azimio, and that has not changed. That communication has not come. It will not come. You saw our party leader or party chairman, Senator Gideon Moi. We were with him in KICC, and then we left to also just have a meeting with our brother and friend, Kalonzo Musyoka. So that means that while this is all happening, the ticket of Raila Martha is very exciting, as you can see, but also we have to win this election. So the plan is to win the election. As an exciting ticket and a plan to win the election. That is what is happening. I can guarantee you that nothing is lost. This election, you must put scenarios. Those scenarios have been mapped, and those scenarios will come in place maybe before or after the election, because our opponent is also strategizing around us, and we have one opponent that we consider a worthy opponent. We must deal with it, and we must ensure that Raila becomes the president. Don't worry about, and Kenya should not worry about what is happening. Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka has expressed his desire to run as a president, and he nominated his running mate. And as you're aware, he's a council member in Azimio One Kenya. So the question would be, how would he run? And those are the things that we are trying to discuss. But I can tell you that even if he was to run, even if he was to manage and run as a wiper candidate, because of course, KANU, as I said, is an Azimio, it does not stop him from delivering votes to Raila Odinga.
What are you saying, Fred?
I'm saying Raila Odinga will be president. And the method of arriving at that is very strategic.
You are telling me that KANU is in Azimio, but Gideon Moi appeared at an event of Kalonzo Musyoka that picked a running mate. What are those optics to mean?
Maybe it is not information that can be aired today, but that information will come at the right time. I can tell you that there is no communication that has come from the party that KANU is not in Azimio. We are in Azimio, as far as we are concerned and as far as we know. And I am sure also there is no communication that has gone out there that Kalonzo Musyoka would not want to work with Raila Odinga in the future. That has not come out. So for us, we understand that it is our duty to ensure that Raila Odinga becomes president. And it is our duty to ensure that the unity between, Kenyans, Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka in Kenya, and all the constituent Azimio. That unity does not segregate the fact that you can give people freedom, and in giving them freedom, you allow them also to help you where the opponent can become heavy. That is what I'm trying to say. We are also aware, Sam, that as we go into this election, it is an election that the public and supporters of various leaders have been putting pressure on them, and they want them to go all the way. Some want them to join others. So you must manage all those things. If you look at Senator Gideon Moi, he has been the uniting factor. He has been the roaming diplomat. He has been that gentleman that would want to see one Kenya. And his assignment is well cast out to deliver votes with all tactics that he has to Raila and ensure that all this we are doing with Kalonzo remain intact. Even if Kalonzo is going to run as wiper, but finally, I can also guarantee you there is a plan.
Fred, now, you're saying that Gideon Moi is acting as the roaming diplomat. I don't know what that means, because I remember seeing him at the steps of the KICC. Then a few minutes later, he was the Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka Command Center. Just tell us, what is going on? Because he had a choice to appear either at the unveiling of the running mate of Raila Odinga or to appear at the unveiling of the running mate of Kalonzo Musyoka. He chose the latter.
He didn't choose the latter. He was there. We were with him at KICC. We were with him at SKM. And that tells you that the level of engagement that he is undertaking is not anything to joke around. It's something that we are keen about. And as I said, Sam, there is a very serious opponent that we are dealing with. And we know that some of the members of Azimio One Kenya left and they went to our worthy competitors. And that is not something that you can undermine or you can underrate. So we have to put everything in place to ensure that anything that would otherwise have been lost is back. And whatever that is back is the number of votes that will deliver Raila Odinga to the finish line. I can tell you, people don't understand because they think that, all this is about drama and, or whatever. But this time round, Gideon Moi has made it his duty to ensure that the unity of this country is more important. And people will sacrifice their ambition to ensure that the unity of this country is achieved. That is what President Kenyatta and Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka are doing. When politicians talk and say, I am going to run, if I don't get this, I'll do this, those are just politics on the podium. But deep inside them, they know what this country needs. Today we are excited of a female president. We must also be excited on 9th August, when now we get the real power. That excitement that we are going to get on 9th of August must be worked upon through number of votes. We know where the votes are. We know where Raila Odinga votes are.
All right, Fred,
we can consolidate those votes.
Fred, I hear you. And of course, we'll continue this conversation after the break, because you've said a few things that all these leaders are working towards the unity of this country. But I wonder how that works when there's no unity in a coalition. Of course, Prof is here, Veronica is here, and Bobby is on the line. We'll be sure to talk about this after the break. So stay tuned. We talk about that shortly.